Ladies! Ladies will never die! Quelle est Zadrizes guzdaris dos daor.
It's the 1,000 blades of Hagen's enemies. A story we agreed to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie. But what do we have left once we abandon the lie? Chaos. A gaping pit waiting to swallow us all. Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm here. I'm alive. I'm back from my trip. Can't wait to show you guys how the trip was. It was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we didn't go live because I genuinely fell asleep. I needed to be up early on the Tuesday morning for a tour, and I just didn't do the live stream. But we're here tonight to do episode 5 and episode 6 breakdowns. That does mean that we won't have meme of the week this week, but we will have a bumper meme of the week next week. But yeah, stay tuned for the breakdowns and for the vlogs that are coming very soon. I've got like 4 or 5 videos that I'm working on. But I have to go back to Ireland. You might hear me say. I got this little book. Journey of Doors Passport by the Game of Thrones Territory.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan's freezing up just a little bit. So. And he's moving around. Look at him. There he goes. Right out there in center field.
Am I back?
You are back. What's up, Kenny Bird? And Anthony Blaze. Okay. What's up, buddy?
Yes, Anthony Blaze, welcome in, my friend. Kenneth Bird, thank you for being here. Am I back? Am I loud and clear? ABC 1, 2, 3. Is that coming through okay?
Yep. Yeah, you are good. Hooked on Phonics work for you.
So this book I got whilst I was on my tour called The Journey of Doors Passport. So basically I went to a place called the Dark Hedges, which is a scene from season 1, which we can't talk about right now because we haven't seen it in the show. But I went there for this reason, because some of the trees in that location have had strong winds in the past. I can't remember, this show was filmed like 19 years ago, and over the space of the years that this has been, all the strong winds in Ireland have blown some of these fantastic trees down, and HBO actually commissioned and saved 2 of the trees. And what they did was they made doors out of these trees, and they distributed these doors around 10 different pubs around Northern Ireland, and you have to go visit them. And this is your passport book, and the book tells you about all of the doors. So I am making a video on this. It tells you all about the doors. So here are some of the really cool carved doors that are at all these pubs awesome. That you have to go to. Awesome. It's very good. Good evening, Tel Talks. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Tel.
But here's the map of basically Northern Ireland and all of the locations of all the doors. And as you can see, I've already got 2 stamps. I've got the Fullerton Arms and the Hedges Hotel. Now I need to go back and travel all around Ireland and get all of them, because apparently you can send this off to HBO once it's been completed and stamped with all of the doors, and they send you a prize that is only attainable by doing this mission around Ireland. So yeah, Stay
Very
tuned
cool.
because I'm going to go back. I had an absolutely fantastic time, and I can't wait to share it with all you guys. We got to meet up with Tel and Joe, and we got to split the G with some Guinness, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good night. I had to sit outside because I had light coloured trousers on, and they wouldn't let me in the pub. But hey, it was one of those things, you know. It was one of those things. I enjoyed it though. It was very, very fun, and I would implore anybody to go check it out. And Tel, I know you went over for Comic-Con. I would say go and do the Game of Thrones tour, bro, and do the studio because damn, they're good. It's just such a special feeling. Yeah, you'll see when I do the videos. But we're here today to talk about Game of Thrones breakdowns, episode 5 and episode 6, the Wolf and the Lion, and the Golden Crown, I believe it is. Yeah, we're going to be talking about those. So, Charles, what did you think of episode 5? I know you watched it late last week, or yeah, you watched it last week. But
I watched it a while ago now. I enjoyed it. I liked how Ned seemed to stand up for himself a little bit more. You know, he went against what Robert wanted, of course. So that's kind of going to put them on shaky ground together. And the end where he gets stabbed just shocked me. I was like, holy crap! Okay. But he recovered pretty quick, pretty darn quick from, a staff going completely through your thigh. But okay,
Yeah, he recovered pretty quick. And Blaze, there is no dragons in this show quite yet.
Yes, not yet.
It's not Johnny? How you doing, guys? Good to see you. So let's get straight into it, guys, because we have got 2 episodes to break down. As you know, I've got the slideshows again. I've got some clips and some videos to play through, and you know the rules. If you have anything you want to say, or you feel like anything just needs to be said, then please feel free to say it as we're going through. The opening credits include a new location for this episode, the Eyrie, but we start in King's Landing, dealing with the aftermath of the joust that saw Secure the Vale taking a lance to the throat, courtesy of the Mountain. So Barristan Selmy has been standing vigil at the former squire, has no family there. Ned Stark talks to him about the boy, and is suspicious how the former squire became a knight, gained a new suit of armour, and managed to draw the most feared competitor at a joust. Too many things do not add up.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, very interesting. We have got some clips, guys, remember, so we'll just keep playing these. But please feel free to hit the like button and share this with your friends. Interesting. Charles, I question to you, is he just too loyal, or is he just poking around in places he shouldn't be poking around in? What feeling do you get from Ned leading up to this?
I think he's loyal, but I think he's also, like you said, poking around where he let it go, type thing. But it's going to get him in trouble here soon, I'm afraid.
It definitely feels like it. It definitely does feel like it.
Poking around, yeah.
Barristan and Ned go to gather the king, who is late for the start of the festival. Robert wants to joust today, but he has become too fat to fit in his armour. The king berates young Lancel Lannister, blaming him and scarring the poor boy until Ned diffuses the situation. Robert grumbles about how Jon Arryn talked him into marrying Cersei Lannister, and now he's stuck with her, and he has to do what she says, like hiring her cousin Lancel as a squire. And we do have one of my favourite interactions in this entire show. You've heard me say it many times. I think I came home from my island trip and I told you I was doing this exact thing. One of my favorite scenes of the entire show. I've watched it many times. Mark Addy brings such a comedic value to Robert that I never even got reading the books. And, speaking of the books, I actually have Game of Thrones, the first book here, because I took this with me to Ireland and I read 408 pages in the week that I was there, and it was very, very interesting to be in the land where it was filmed and to be reading these lines and thinking of how George describes the places and knowing that I can just go and see it. It was just it was very, very surreal to be in the land of Game of Thrones. And it's not just in Northern Ireland, it's all over the world, but a lot of it in the first season especially was filmed over there.
Awesome.
Robert joins Sansa in the stands to watch the rest of the tournament. First up is Sir Loras, Tyrell, the Knight of Flowers, who Sansa seems to fancy. He presents her with a rose and she blushes while Lord Renly looks on. Loras is battling the Mountain, but he is a much more willing opponent than Hugh, and he knocks Sir Gregor Clegane off his horse. but you don't get that kind of reputation the Mountain has by taking a defeat lying down. So he goes absolute apeshit. He demands his sword and slices his horse's head off, and then turns his attention to Solaris. But Gregor's brother Sandor the Hound comes to defend the Knight of Flowers. King Robert's seen enough and demands that they stop at once. Solaris forfeits his win and gives it to the Hound. Very interesting battle there. The Mountain was bested. And you'll see throughout this season as well, they have an issue with the Mountain and the casting of him. He's like recast like 3 times in the entire show. It's very interesting for a character. And then moving on, Caitlin and her bannermen are taking their captive Lord Tyrion somewhere, but not to Winterfell, as Tyrion learns when he is unhooded. Catelyn has loudly been proclaiming her intentions so that the Lannisters would be looking for Tyrion in the wrong place. Instead, they are going to the Eastern Road and heading to the Vale to take him before her sister, Jon Arryn's widow. Tyrion warned Catelyn that she doesn't know her sister anymore and that she's changed, but there's little time to discuss this as they are attacked by marauding hill tribes. How did you feel about the Vale, Charles? Because you've been introduced to the Vale before this introduction, because we got Lady Jane Arryn over in House of the Dragon Season 2.
Yeah.
It looks very different from both shows, I will admit. One of my favourite lines, I think I have a clip from it. But what did you think of the Vale?
It's a location. It really didn't do much for me, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Now her sister is fucking nuts. But,
she is.
Say it. I mean, she's a lot of sandwiches short of a picnic. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, for sure. What's up, Dead Zone? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in.
Dead Zone.
Good to see you. Welcome into the channel. And I know you've been here before, but we're breaking down Game of Thrones episode 5 at the minute. We're going to be doing episode 6 as well this evening. We're just talking about the Vale right now. So in the books, Charles, the Vale is described a lot more differently. So like you have to take these tiny goats or these horses, and because they are only big enough to take you on the edge of the cliff, and you make your way around the edge of this cliff, and it takes a while just to get to the castle. It's very interesting, and obviously in the show they don't do that.
Yeah, in the show they're just there. Yeah.
And Bronn has one of my favorite lines of the show, and I keep saying that about every episode because you guys know this is my favorite damn show. So all of the clips are memorable for me, but Bronn has a specifically favorable one. Yeah, give me 10 good men and some climbing spikes, and I'll impregnate the bitch. Infamous lines. I love this picture as well of Tyrion. This is one of my favorite Funkos that I have. Tyrion thinks this gives him a chance to escape while the fighting is going on, but he sees Caitlyn under attack and comes to her rescue. Tyrion may disparage his fighting prowess, but he gets the job done. It's his first kill. Sir Roderick Castle and the dark-haired man who have offered Tyrion his room in exchange for gold managed to kill the rest. Yeah, Tyrion, no matter what, always seems to overcome obstacles for the little man that he is. He has such a big heart and a big willingness to stay alive.
he does, and he could have just run off, but instead, he basically went to the aid of his own captor. It kind of threw me off. I'm like, but this dude's got a heart, and that's why he's one of my favorites. Yeah,
I can completely agree with you. Welcome in, Jeremy. LSAPC says, good evening, my friends. I'm lurking, but I'm on a business call. I'll be more active shortly. We welcome you for being here. Thank you for coming in and saying hello in the chat. If anyone else is in the chat and you haven't spoke up, please feel free to say hello. I'd love to welcome you all guys to the community. And there is an ongoing giveaway for some magnets on the Game of Thrones stuff. All you have to do is comment on the actual live stream, not in the live chat, but actually like YouTube comments down below. And that's how you get registered. There's only one person currently registered, so you've got until episode 10 to get a comment in, or you're not going to get it, and that person will get it. So back at Winterfell, Bran is studying up on the houses of Westeros while Theon is practicing his archery. Bran mentions that the Iron Islands sigil Kraken, words we do not sow. Theon is from the Iron Islands, and his family, the Greyjoys, are the lords going through the other houses. Bran has a point to make when he gets to his mother's house, the Tullys. Their motto is family, duty, and honor, and Bran notes that the family come first, but not for his mother, who is not with their family right now. Mr. Lewin tries to explain that the mission that she is on is for the family, but Bran is unconvinced. Later, Theon is with Ross and the whore who puts him in his place when he goes all blah blah, Greyjoys blah blah, Iron Islands blah blah, 300 years blah blah. She points out that he is a captive of the Starks, no matter what he wants to call it, and that he is beholden to them.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. He seems like a free man within the family, but we know that he's not. He's captive. You know, he's been held.
Yes.
Theon
He kind of has free reign, but at the same time, he can't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Theon is a black and white character mixed with lots of grey, and then we have a big shift over to Arya practicing her footwork by trying to catch a cat. Very interesting, because the scene before this was full of cats, or you could say pussy. But yeah, the scene was full of it. So it's interesting how they cut to an actual cat later on in the episode. Varys wants to talk to Ned in private. Somewhat ironic for someone who makes it his business to know what everyone is doing and what they are saying. He tells him that we're all deluded. The king is a fool. He is not the man Ned knew once. The eunuch believes he can trust Ned because after observing him for a month, he can tell Ned is honest, honourable man. The king, he tells Ned, is doomed as in on his way to join his former hand Jon Arryn in the great beyond. He believes that Jon Arryn was poisoned and that Robert is next. Very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
There are few men of...
Yeah, it's definitely a pity what happened to him. Basically confirming that the Sahyu poisoned Jon Arryn in the storyline. That's what we've been told. So, yeah, interesting development there with what's going on. You know, we're getting some rounds. You know, some circles are being closed from the ones that were opened in the earlier episodes, which I like because it's not just leaving breadcrumbs all the way to the finale season like some shows will do. They will just drip you through stuff till the very end, and then you know. Dare I say Beetlejuice did the exact same thing. It was a breadcrumb of trails all the way to the end, and then the last 5 minutes was a absolute jumbled mess. But hey, that's another review for another time. Interesting. I watched Beetlejuice recently. Varys believes that the Squire Hugh of the Vale was the one who gave Jon Arryn the poison. Ned can't imagine why anyone would want to have wanted to kill Jon Arryn, but Varys believes he knows why. The former hand of the king was asking too many questions. As Arya continues looking for her cat, she stumbles beneath the castle of the dungeons where the dragon skulls are kept. There she overhears snippets of a conversation. He's found one bastard already. He has the book. Someone knows Ned is dangerously close to learning the truth that Jon Arryn was also searching for and was killed for. The other man asks, when he knows the truth, what will he do? Whoever is speaking did not try to have Bran killed. They are also not aligned with either the Starks or the Lannisters. The first man says someone tried to kill him, i.e. Bran, and what's worse, they botched it. The wolf and the lion will be at each other's throats. We will be at war soon, the other man replies. We're not ready. Very interesting conversation between Illyrio and Varys, which is very interesting because Illyrio seems to be able to time travel because he was with Daenerys and Viserys over on the other side of the sea in a previous episode, and now this episode he's in the Red Keep and speaking with Varys. So it's very interesting, and I like how this scene is definitely done in the show more than the books. In the books, Varys puts on a disguise and walks around the castle with this weird mask because he used to be an actor and he's from traveling acting things, which we do see later on in the show come into fruition, but not with Varys. The acting people who come into it.
I thought he dressed up as a nun, you know.
Well, yeah, you'd think he did because that's what Rhaenyra did in that episode. She dressed up as a nun and never got seen. So definitely an interesting way to do it. I think I have a video of Arya overhearing that conversation. Yeah, a very interesting conversation. It is Varys talking with Illyrio, the man who arranged the marriage between Dany and Khal Drogo. He asks Varys if the hand can die, why not another? And Varys responds that this hand is not the other. He tells him that Drogo is not yet ready to send his army to attack the Seven Kingdoms, and Illyrio says that he needs time for Drogon's son to be born, and that he won't attack until then, but Varys says, do not delay. And then we have one of the most interesting conversations throughout the entire series, and the two biggest, in my opinion, players of this Game of Thrones, Varys and Littlefinger. Varys and Baelish, the spider, and Littlefinger have a testy conversation in the throne room about sexual proclivities and legalities. I'm not going to basically say it all because I do have a clip, so we will play them. I have split it up into 3 parts because YouTube will absolutely spank me if I play the whole thing. So I could have very, very gripping conversation with the 2 of them. And even in my intro on the show, I have part of their interaction with each other with the Chaos as a Ladder conversation, which comes in I think it's season 3, but without that, you have to have this conversation first to build the friendship between these 2. Charles, I'm going to ask you now, if you would, as your king, I'm going to make you choose one of the 2 guys to align your allegiances with. Who would you choose right now in the story, Varys or Littlefinger?
Oh man. I don't trust either one of them, to be totally honest with you.
Correct.
One
of them supports the West, one of them supports the East. They're both, but they're both basically tiptoeing around, helping one side or the other.
Man.
You can come back to it, yeah? You can think about it throughout this episode.
Let me think about it for a minute.
Yeah, we will ask you at the end. LSAPC Jeremy says, okay, I'm fully attentive now. My apologies to the council. Your apologies are accepted, Jeremy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present. We appreciate it. Cyravel, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. I know that you play Fortnite and stuff. I checked out your channel the other day. Blaze helped me out with your channel. Appreciate you stopping over and showing the support. Welcome to the council.
Welcome.
Arya runs to tell her father what she overheard, but he doesn't know what to make of what she's saying. And then he's interrupted by word from Yoren of the Night's Watch, who tells Ned that his wife has taken Tyrion Lannister hostage. He wanted Ned to know before word got out, because he felt like doing a favor to Benjen. Go ahead.
Hold up. You're not live anymore.
I'm not.
Nope. It's Jeremy just sent me a picture. It says stream unavailable. Stream suspended for policy violations.
Damn it! Am I going to come back or?
I don't know. He just sent it to me, so I looked online and that's what it shows.
Shall I end it and restart it? Can I do that?
Jeremy, if you can hear me, it's showing the same thing on my end too. So, what did you say?
Should I end it and restart it?
Is anybody else in the chat hearing us? Or are you seeing us or anything? Or
No, we're back. We're back.
It's back?
Yeah, it's back. Are we back, guys, in the chat? Please let me know if we're back.
There we go. It's back on my end.
That's my apologies. My apologies. That's what I get, I guess, for sharing clips of the best show in the world and maybe being a little bit too long with the clips. Maybe I should cut them up. I tried to make sure that all of them are less than 40 seconds because I've never usually had an issue with them. But maybe
when you went back to back, it's probably what got you.
Yeah, maybe I should just say something about that clip and then play the next clip. But yeah, I tried to just put across the seriousness of the conversation without having to interrupt.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arya runs back to her father to tell him what she overheard, but she doesn't know. He doesn't know what to make of it, of what she's saying, and then he's interrupted by word from Yoren of the Night's Watch, who tells Ned that his wife has taken Tyrion Lannister hostage. He wanted Ned to know before word got out, as a favor to Uncle Benjen, who we will see later on in the show. Tyrion may have saved Catelyn's life, but she still believes he tried to kill Bran. So they continue on their way to the Vale. They all stopped along the way by the guard of the Vale, and they are escorted the rest of the way. Now I'm afraid to play clips, but I'm going to play them anyway, because that's what these streams are about. At the small council meeting, King Robert orders Daenerys Targaryen along with her unborn child to be killed, and her brother Viserys as well. Ned advises against it, that it will be a disgrace in the king's honour. I think I have it here.
Dead, you'll dishonor.
Careful, Ned. Careful now. such a good Mark Addy again. I said it earlier. Mark Addy brings such a powerful performance to King Robert.
He really
King
does.
Robert was my favorite king in the entirety of Game of Thrones world until we were introduced to Paddy Considine playing Viserys in House of the Dragon, and then he stole that crown for me because it was just majestic the way he did that role.
So,
but yeah,
completely off track. But Paddy Considine, I saw a photo of him, much younger than I thought he was.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be like a 60-year-old man.
Okay.
By the character and the way it looked, but man, he's a young man. So.
Yeah, he's a young guy. Yeah, there's some cracking UK films that I would love to show you with him. Maybe we'll watch one of them one day because he is such a fantastic actor. He really is.
Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologise, but Robert is a fantastic king. I agree, says Jeremy. Thank you for letting me know about the hiccup with the stream. If it happens again, I apologise. We'll try for it not to. Ned is stubborn, even if the information is correct. Even if there is a Targaryen leading the Dothraki army, there is still a matter of the sea between them and Westeros. He does not believe murdering the girl and her baby is the answer. Varys tries to talk sense to Ned. If the Targaryen child is a boy, he will lead an attack on the realm. Killing her will save untold thousands of lives and the kingdom. Ned disagrees, and he and Robert exchange heated words, and Ned resigns from his post, with the king mocking his honour as he walks out. Littlefinger follows Ned back to his room and tells him the word treason was thrown about, but before he leaves the capital, Littlefinger can arrange for Ned to speak to the last person that Jon Arryn spoke to before his death. So there again, just like Ned's trying to get away from it. Ned's had enough. He's like, you know what? I just don't need this crap. I've got a family up north, and it's all, you know, we're all split up. We're all divided now, and I just don't need this shit. And Littlefinger instantly, you know, jumps back on again and says, "Hey, but bro, I can give you some more answers." You know, it's like, just don't listen, Ned. Just do not listen.
He's like a crack dealer, you know.
He is.
Giving him what he wants.
I agree. Up at the Vale, Catelyn has brought Tyrion before her sister, Jon Arryn's widow, to stand for his crime. Lysa is on the throne with her son at her bosom, which would not be so disturbing if the boy was not old enough to be a cub scout. Lysa and her son already want to see Tyrion dead. Mommy, make the bad man fly. But Catelyn says that he's her prisoner and not to hurt him. Lysa sends him to see Maud. Charles, give me your thoughts on Maud. Do you remember good old Maud?
Which one?
Maud was the bold little guy that held the keys to the gate that locked Tyrion away.
Oh yeah.
You like that guy?
yeah. Kept hitting with the billy club.
Yeah.
I actually liked his character. I kind of he was kind of like a simple oof. You know, He was just doing what he was told. It didn't look like he really wanted to hurt anybody, but he had to show power. Yeah. So.
Jeremy is letting us know Ned is doing exactly what Robert chose him to do as her hand. Keep the balance.
True.
It is very true. I love that Jeremy always sticks on point with what Ned is there for, because I get frustrated with Ned every time I watch this show. The first time I watched it, obviously, I was like, oh, I love the guy, and I do still love him, but throughout watching it so many times, I just noticed so many different things where he had so many options to not go down the path that he went down. And then Jeremy goes, "Mommy, I'm hungry." Yikes. I'm going to say, right, Lysa is, for an older woman, she's got a cracking set of tits. I'm just saying. She really does. Maud is the jailer, and one of the best ideas for a jail ever. You're not really locked up. You're free to leave whenever you want.
Yeah.
If you can fly, you're in a real good shape.
Yep.
So in the books, this is a little bit. So this isn't told from Tyrion's point of view in the books. This is told from Lysa's point of view, and you understand, not Lysa, Catelyn's point of view, and you see how tall and crazy this castle is. And the floor of the cells in the book are slanted, so that if you go to sleep, you will roll out and die. They are basically like torture prisons with slanted floors, and it's really cool that they don't do it. They do it a little bit in this, but it's not so much in the books. It's a lot more slanted in the books.
Well, later on in the episode, she tells him find a small one with slanted floors.
Yeah, good catch. I'm not coming up yet. Renly, the king's younger brother, is being manscaped by Loris, the Knight of Flowers. So that was why they were looking at each other before the joust. While chatting about the capital gossip, the conversation turns to Loris telling Renly that he would make a better king than Robert. His family, the Tyrells, are almost as rich as the Lannisters, and with their money, perhaps Renly could take the throne. Loris is agreeing to this, flattering Renly and convincing him to ignore little things like lines of succession and make the decision to become king. And Shaw knows how to bring home his point. So last episode, I was talking to you guys about how Tyrion had a affinity for broken things and bastards and broken things, and helping Bran and Jon and all these people that he was helping. So Loris is kind of doing that here with Renly. He's, you know, he understands that he's gay, and he's like, okay, well, maybe if you just jump the line, bro, and you can make the world the way you want to make it. But unfortunately, in Game of Thrones, that isn't how it goes down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. We're getting thrown a lot of new characters at the moment. I understand it might be hard for you to keep up, but he is the brother of Robert. Renly is the younger brother of Robert, and there's another character that we will meet as well. He was also a brother of Robert. But yeah, very fun. Renly's a good, cool character. And then we have such a powerful conversation between Robert and Cersei. And I just want to preface that all this was made up for the show, because in the first book, which I have in my hand here, you do not get a single chapter from the point of view of any of these characters. Cersei is not in this book, and Robert is not in this book. It's very interesting that in the first season, Robert is king, and he's very powerful in the show, and he is in the book as well, but you don't get a chapter of his point of view. It's always from Ned's point of view, or Jaime's point of view, or people like that. You don't get Cersei or Robert, and I love that they made this whole scene up. Cersei comes to Robert to gloat about the rift between him and Ned. Strangely, she appears to be defending Ned, but perhaps she just liked having him close by, where she could keep an eye on him. Robert is worried about Daenerys and her Dothraki husband, but Cersei dismisses his concern. Every schoolgirl knows that Dothraki won't cross the narrow sea, but if they did, it would spell the ruin of the kingdom. That's what worries Robert. That's hard to say. We do have a clip. We will play it. 29 seconds of conversation just starting with these two. You can tell Cersei is a cold-hearted bitch. She really is. From the start of the show to the very end of the show, she's cold-hearted. And Robert is just a misunderstood king, in my opinion. He's so good. We do have more clips. I wanted to obviously talk about them before we go through them. Hopefully we don't get kicked off.
I thought if I...
Oh, we've gone down again. That was 10 seconds of a clip, but we went down again.
Yep.
That was 10 seconds. I can't play clips this episode. That's fine.
Yeah. Jeremy just sent me a message saying, or in the group chat said, you just hit YouTube's radar is what you've done tonight. So they're going to keep slamming you. So.
Yeah, I'll just not do clips now. I'll wait for it to come back.
Yep.
I won't do them this episode anyway.
Yes, make sure everyone hits that like button on the video. Make sure to comment after it goes live.
Yeah, we are still here, guys. I'm just waiting for the stream to come back up.
Good evening, Wrestle Realm. Thank you for joining us.
Come on, YouTube. Let me do it. I've got one viewer now.
Let's go, let's go. Maybe if I sing, it'll help.
Right, we've got 3 viewers, people coming back. Are they going to put me back on?
I don't know. There we go.
Are we back?
Yep, do a commercial for Coke real quick.
You make me choke on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
commercials. Guys, I apologize. I can only say YouTube are watching. That's a good thing, I guess. That YouTube are watching and they're caring about the stuff that we're posting. Only took us 5 weeks, but hey, YouTube, how you doing? Good to see you. My name's Ryan. This is Pop in Missouri, and we're breaking down Game of Thrones. You can keep kicking us off. We're going to stay here and we're going to do it. I will just forfeit the rest of the clips for this episode. What have I got down here? I have quite a few other clips, but we'll just go through it because I have stuff on screen, guys, that will keep continuing to go. Robert realizes that with the end of the Mad King, a common enemy for the rebels, there is one unified kingdom. YouTube have absolutely made me flustered. There are many smaller groups, each with its own agenda. The Lannisters want to own everything. The Starks just want to live in peace up north, and they are no longer of one mind. All that's holding the realm together was forced marriage alliances between Cersei Lannister and Robert Baratheon. Theirs is by no means a happy marriage for many reasons. Cersei turns the conversation to Robert's one true love, Ned Stark's sister Lyanna. Cersei admits that she once loved Robert and wonders if he ever could have loved her, but the answer is no. Nothing will ever replace Lyanna. Hard not to feel bad for Cersei at this moment. Very much indeed. She's a great villain because she makes you feel for her in many episodes and in many parts of the story. But she is a cold-hearted bitch, and don't you ever forget that, Charles, because Cersei is horrible.
Yes, she's a redhead, so yeah.
No, thanks. Yeah. Ned goes to visit the last person Jon Arryn spoke to before he fell ill, and it's a young mother holding her dark-haired baby who looks just like his father, the king. She tells Ned to let the king know how beautiful his baby is. Ned found out from Littlefinger that Robert had many bastards and that Jon Arryn had tracked them all down. So the plot thickens with what's going on with Ned here. And towards this end of this episode, Ned finds himself surrounded by guards. Leading them is Jaime Lannister. When Jorah Castle tells Jaime to stand back, Jaime reminds him that Ned is no longer the hand of the king. Jaime knows that Tyrion has been taken prisoner by Catelyn, and Ned says it was at his order. Jaime orders Ned taken into custody and all his men killed, but doesn't want Ned killed as he won't get Tyrion back then. Ned's men are disposed of quickly, including Jory, courtesy of a sword through his eye. Ned goes after Jaime, and though Jaime is the one with the reputation, Ned is keeping up with him, just as it seems that there is an end of the battle, and that one doesn't budge. Well, for Ned, one of the Lannister guards stabs him in the leg and brings him down. Jaime cannot kill him, but has made his point. It is very much indeed. And that is the end of the slides for that episode. Very good and very interesting episode ending. A couple of questions here that I wanted to ask. I know it was a week ago, Charles, but I know you'll try to do your best, and I do have answers for these questions that I've asked. So the first question I wanted to pose to you was, what do you think motivated Ned Stark's decision to confront the Lannisters about the death of Jon Arryn? How do you think that this will impact his relationship with King Robert?
I think what spurred it on is he wants to know the truth. He wants to know, is Robert really next, because Robert is his friend. They've gone through a lot together over the years. They've been, good and bad. So I think he's just looking out for Robert, trying to. It's kind of backfiring because, again, he's sticking his nose maybe where it doesn't belong. Leave it be. What happens, and live your life, So
yeah, I wrote down here that Ned Stark is motivated by his sense of honor and duty to uncover the truth about Jon Arryn's death. He believes that understanding the circumstances surrounding Jon's death is crucial for the safety of the realm and the Stark family. Confronting the Lannisters puts him at odds with King Robert, which may strain their relationship and compliant his position in the court. That was how I would have answered my own question. Question 2 I pose to you. In this episode, we see various characters maneuvering for power. Who do you think is the most dangerous player in the political game right now, and why?
the most dangerous. I think Littlefinger.
Okay.
What
makes you think that?
He knows more than we know. He knows more than we know.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
And he knows he's in everyone's business, so he knows everything. So he knows what everyone's next step is. So with one little, whisper in somebody's ear, he could change the whole outcome of everything.
Yeah. Jeremy says, kind of pissed off that Jamie that the god did that. He wanted to defeat him personally. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
good
so.
point.
Yeah.
He also says Robert chose him because he was paranoid that something was happening behind his back. Ned was there to uncover the truth and protect the king while upholding his personal integrity. I love it. So my answer to the question 2 that I posed to Charles was, at this point, Tyrion Lannister emerges to me as the most cunning player in the political game, using his wit to navigate the most dangerous waters between the Starks and Lannisters. However, Cersei Lannister also provides to be a formidable opponent, especially in her protection stance over her children. Both characters demonstrate sharp political acumen, but Cersei's ruthlessness and ambition makes her particularly dangerous. Cersei is one to watch for sure. And the third and final question I pose for you for this episode 5, were there any moments in this episode that you think might foreshadow events in future episodes? If so, what were they, and why do you think that what made you stand out to you?
See, you asked me that earlier, and when I read it, and I was like, man, my problem is I don't watch shows for foreshadowing. I just watch it for the show. I don't delve into it that far.
Like any conversations you're like, oh, I wonder where that's going to go down the line.
I would say the conversation in the dungeon for one.
Okay.
Cersei and Robert talking about Drago crossing the water.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to happen because in almost in his own words, he knows that if that happens, he's a dead man.
Yeah.
Khal Drogo is going to wipe the floor with him. So I think those are part 2 for me.
I like it. You're still picking up on the main thread of the story of the threat on the east. So that's a correct answer, Charles. Nothing's a wrong answer here. Several moments in this episode foreshadow future events, particularly the increasing tensions between the Starks and the Lannister families, the confrontation between Ned and Jaime hints at the violent fallout to come, and conversations about the illegitimacy of Robert's heirs suggest deeper secrets that will unravel later. The growing animosity between characters signalizes that the political landscape of Westeros is literally on the brink of chaos. So yeah, to remain spoiler-free, that's how I would sum up foreshadowing of this episode. Jeremy says, to me, I was the truth that Ned discovered and the lengths Jaime, the Lannisters, were willing to go to protect their secrets.
Yeah. I mean, they will kill.
I like it. So, yeah, they will indeed. Charles, what would you rate this episode?
This one, again, I watched it about a week and a half ago now, so it's a little fuzzy. I would say 7.5, 7.6. So they're all between 7 and 8 for me. Not my most favorite. Spoiler, I think 6 so far was my favorite.
Yeah, I like it. So for me, this was a 9.2, I believe. So yeah, it's one of the lower ranked episodes in the series. I don't know. I like the North. We just got introduced to people up north with Sam and the people on the Night's Watch, and then we didn't get anything from them in this episode. It would have been nice to just jump over there and get a little bit from them,
Something. But even in House of Dragon, we did that. We were introduced to someone, and then we didn't see him for 3 weeks. Same thing.
Yeah, they kind of do that a lot with the people up north. Cregan Stark was up north, and they forgot about him. Let's get straight into it, guys. We're just under an hour for the first episode. We'll try and get out of here in the next 40 to 45 minutes. Jeremy goes, this is the episode that sets a lot of storylines up. For me, watching the second time, I get a higher number than I did the first time I saw it, which is perfect. Yeah. Yeah, all of the episodes in season 1 for me are in the 9-point-something scoreline, so they're all fantastic episodes. It's just it's hard to rank them, But yeah, I like, and please, guys in the chat, please feel free to let me know how you feel, and share the stream out. YouTube are obviously watching, and they've cut me off a couple of times, so please share it out, let people know that we're still here, we're still chatting. Yeah, Charles, anything you would like to add for the episode 5 before we move on to episode 6?
No, I think we wrapped it up really well. So,
Cool.
I was at the end of 5. I was really wondering what was going to happen to Ned. Was he going to be laid up? Whatever. And then 6, he's just going around his normal business. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get straight into 6. So, Ned wakes up in his bed with the king and the queen standing in front of him. He is not in prison or dead, but he has angered the queen, and he's badly injured. Cersei tells a false story of him coming out of the brothel, drunk, and attacking her brother. But Robert isn't fooled. Still, all he wants is peace between his wife and his best friend. And I think he even gives her a slap for it, And she says she'll wear it like an honor, and he says, "You'll clean up, or I'll honor you again." I was like, "Oh, that's a powerful line."
Yeah.
Yeah, once Cersei leaves, Robert asks Ned to take his old job back. He wants Ned to send a raven to get Cersei's brother Tyrion returned and settle his feud with the Lannisters once and for all. Robert gets all sentimental, telling Ned that he had never loved his own brothers. Ned was the brother he chose. Subtext, so please put up with my wife and her annoying family for my sake. Robert tells Ned that he needs him now to run things for him while Robert is out hunting boar. If Ned is to be Robert's advisor, then he'll advise. So he'll again raise the issue of what to do with Daenerys Targaryen, and again Robert is pissed. He wants her dead. That's the end of the discussion. He tells Ned to take back to the ceremonial pin of the hand of the king, and if you ever take it off again, I swear to God, I'll pin it on Jaime Lannister. That should be enough to keep Ned in line.
You'd think so,
For
right?
sure. Yeah, you would think so. I wouldn't want Jaime Lannister as the hand of the king. Not a chance.
No.
Alone in her room, Dany places one of her dragon eggs on hot coals. Though very old, she is testing the egg to see if fire will somehow unleash the dragon inside, but nothing happens. After some time, she picks it up again. Her handmaiden is alarmed. Dany will burn herself. She grabs the egg away from Dany and burns her own hands, but Dany's hands are unaffected by the heat. Interesting.
This is great foreshadowing here for sure.
Okay. And please explain how you feel that.
What happens at the end of the video or the end of the episode and what she says.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. You think that's good? That's correct. I like it. I love it.
Sure.
We hear coring, and we see Bran standing, aiming an arrow. So it's a dream sequence time. Again, he follows the three-eyed raven as it lands on a statue of a direwolf and then continues on down towards the Stark family crypt. Bran awakes suddenly to see Hodor bring in the saddle manufactured based on Tyrion's drawings. Bran is ecstatic to be back riding again. His brother Robb and Tyrion watch him. Tyrion helped Bran being able to move around again, and it's one of my favorite things that Tyrion does, because his brother pushed him out of the window and the other brother helped him to be able to just walk and get around and do things again. So the good and the dark of the two Lannister brothers.
It shows that heart again that Tyrion has.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little guy. He's a little guy, so he's always struggled his entire life. He knows what Bran's going to go through now because of his own brother pushing him out. Because of Jaime pushing him out the window.
Yep.
All they were doing was playing leapfrog, but he pushed out the window anyways. So.
Yeah, and I want to say thank you to people that are watching, that are messaging me and let me know that the stream went down at certain points and stuff. We are back up and we're running now, and we're not going to play any more clips this evening. I will try and fix that for next week though, because I do like playing the clips, and I feel like they definitely bring more of a understanding for you guys on the show, more than me just explaining it all. I'll just have to behave, and YouTube can get me some subscribers so I can start getting paid for this. Theon asks when Robb is going to tell Bran about the Lannisters' attack on Ned and his men, including the murder of Jory. Theon tells Robb that he should make the Lannisters pay for what they did. Jaime is heading towards the Lannister home in Casterly Rock, and Robb should go there to avenge the family honour. Robb tells Theon basically to butt out. It's not his duty because it's not his house. Suddenly they realise that they don't see or hear Bran, and Robb is concerned, but Theon was wounded by Robb's words and talks off, saying, well, it's not my house, so why should I go look for him? You know? A little bit of a kerfuffle between the two boys there, which I get. You know, he's the oldest next in line, and you know, Robb's just trying to be honourful and dutiful and taking up, I guess, his father's mantle of things that have happened before him by keeping Theon at arm's reach with what he's doing. Bran is riding out to an area called the Wolf's Wood, the forest outside of Winterfell. There he is attacked by wildlings, the people who normally live beyond the wall in the north. They want his silver pin and his horse and anything else of value that he might have on him. When they find out that he is a Stark, the female of the group realizes that he's related to Benjen Stark of the Night's Watch. She thinks that they've struck gold. Imagine what Mance Rayder would give for him. But her compatriots disagree. They're not going back up north, even to trade the little boy in. We're going south as south goes. There ain't no White Walkers down in Dorne. And Dorne is as far as you can get. You know, that's the bottom. That's right at the bottom. Fun fact, the lady here is Osha. She also plays Tonks in Harry Potter, which was a cool little casting. I think she was in this first, though. I must say, I do believe she was in this first. Like most things. Robb to the rescue. Drop that knife and fight ensues. Robb kills the first wildling, then gets caught up by the girl. Meanwhile, a third grabs Bran off his horse and holds him up with a knife to his throat. It's a standoff. Robb lowers his weapon, lest his brother be killed. Suddenly, the man holding Bran is shot with an arrow in the back. Theon had returned. Instead of being grateful, though, Robb is angry that Theon risked Bran's life. The woman begs for her life and offers to serve them, and Robb decides to spare her life. Yeah. Do you think Robb should have killed her? Or were you happy that he saved her?
I'm glad he didn't. It was over and done with. His brother was fine. Either take her and take her back home, or let her just run. Let her go.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I would have killed her. She's a wildling. Okay. She tried to kill my boy. She tried to kill my brother. And I'd have killed her.
Okay.
Tyrion wakes up in a high prison and immediately calls for the jailer, Maud. Tyrion has a proposition. The Lannisters are rich beyond imagination, and this money can be his if he helps Tyrion. But Maud doesn't quite understand the concept of virtues versus actually ownership, and he walks out. He's like, pats him down. He goes, "You've got no money on you. What are you talking about? Like, if you want out, give me money now." You know? Yeah. Jeremy says, "I would have killed her too." Okay. Theon could hit a fly from 500 yards with that bow. Not sure why Robb was so upset at that. Yeah, I think it was because Robb didn't save his brother and Theon did. So that kind of, belittles Robb a little bit.
I think that was a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little jealousy there.
Yeah, jealousy and belittling. And Bran will remember that, you know, one of those kind of things. So,
you didn't save me, he did. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. There is only one God, and his name is Death. And there is only one thing we say to Death. Not today. This is the lesson that Syrio Forel gives Arya today during her lesson. He knows that she is distracted, upset at the murder of Jory and the wounding of her father, but Syrio wants her to learn to put all that aside when it's time to fight. So Syrio Forel is one of the most important characters in Arya's storyline. He instills some very, very good virtues and values in her. He's one of my favourite characters, Syrio Forel. I just love the way he speaks, the way he dances with his sword. I am the dance master of Bravos.
He reminds me of like a medieval Zorro.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, nice catch. He's a great character. And then, this week on Bizarre Foods, guys, Dany must eat a heart of a stallion at some religious Dothraki ceremony, which is intended to reveal the future of her unborn child. Her brother doubts that she'll be able to do it, but Jorah has faith in her. She manages to keep the food down, and it is proclaimed that her son will be the stallion that mounts the world, the Carl that will be that will unite all the people. Dany speaks at a ceremony announcing in the Dothraki tongue that her son will be called Rhaego. The people all chant, and they are in love with her. Viserys is concerned. Fun fact, she did in fact eat this entire thing on set, and it was made out of gummy bear things. They made a giant heart out of gummy bears, and she did actually eat it on set, which was very, very cool.
Nice.
This was brutal to watch, says Jeremy. It was indeed. It still is to this point. You know, I've seen it at least 20 times I've seen this episode. And yeah, I'm squeamish watching it. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Viserys is done with the Dothraki. He packs up 3 dragon eggs and plans to head out. He can sell them to buy himself a ship and a very large army. He's not waiting around for Khal Drogo to give him what he wants. Jorah comes in as he's packing up. Viserys tells Jorah that he's carried the future of the Targaryen dynasty on his shoulders since he was 5. Yet he's never received the outpouring of love and respect that his sister just got in that one room. He's taking what is his and splitting. Viserys tells Jorah to step aside, but Jorah refuses. He can go, but he's leaving Dany's eggs. We have a question coming up about Jorah in a little bit, so I'd be very interested to know your thoughts on Jorah. But we will shelve them till the end of the breakdown.
He complains because he's never got the outpouring of love and respect that Dany just got. It's because you're a prick and no one likes you, dude.
Ding, ding. Yeah. It's the way you carry yourself. It's the way you carry yourself. And many times we have said in this show, if you proclaim to be the king, you are clearly not a king.
Yeah.
And he has done this many times.
Yeah. She is adapting to her surroundings. She's learning their language. She's learning their customs. She's falling into it. And he's just like, I am the king. Fuck you all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he's clinging on to the past historic rise of his family as a Targaryen, because we know how important the Targaryens were back in the day of House of the Dragon. They were the ones that were in charge. So now, 182 years or something past House of the Dragon events, there's only 2 Targaryens left, and they are basically forgotten about. And he's the evil version of the 2, and she's still learning. You're completely correct. She's taking in her surroundings, and she's smart. She's very, very smart.
Yes, you can tell.
Tyrion tries to reason with Mord again. Sometimes possession is an abstract concept. He goes on to explain that when he was captured, they took his purse, which had gold in the purse, and it's still his. And it can be Mord's if he helps Tyrion. He's not having much luck, so he tries another way. Have you heard the expression "rich as a Lannister"? He butters him up. You're a smart man. Of course you've heard that. I am a Lannister, he adds. Another well-known truism of the Lannisters. A Lannister always pays their debts. Now, if Mord can connect the dots, Tyrion should be a home free. Rich, always pay their debts. All he's asking for is Mord to deliver a message for him, the message that he wishes to confess his crimes. In one of the rare cases where the man defending himself does not have a fool for a lawyer, Tyrion is masterful. Needless to say, that's not the confession Catelyn was looking for, but that's all she's getting. She has charged him with hiring a man to assassinate her son and conspiring to kill Jon Arryn. Tyrion swears he knows nothing about those crimes. He demands a real trial by combat. I did have clips, guys, of the entire conversation that Tyrion says, because it is absolutely powerful and fantastic, but we're not going to play them this evening. Yeah, we're not going to play them this evening, but we will put them in a video that we'll upload this week, because I don't want to put them to waste. I took a lot of time making sure that I could actually get them into StreamYard to play for you guys, so I don't want to waste that. We will play them in a video. But damn you, YouTube. Tyrion is brilliant in this scene, and it comes as one of my favorite. Yeah, and in comes one of my favorite characters. Interesting. Lady Lysa tells him about the trials up in the Vale. First, she has the moon door opened, and Tyrion now looks down, way down, through the hole in the floor in the Vale. Her 7-year-old, still sucking at his mummy's teat, son Lord Robin listens to the evidence, and then the accused will leave through one of the 2 doors. Looking at her son, it's unlikely he'd find someone innocent and deprived himself of the fun and watching someone fly.
Oh yeah, he later in the episode with what happens, he's like, "Is it over? Can we do it again?" It's like,
Yeah.
shit.
Can we make the bad man fly?
Yeah, can we make him fly? Yeah.
Tyrion has a better idea though. He demands a trial by combat, which is one of my favorite things in this world. Like, you can demand a trial by combat. You don't have to have judges and jurors and executioners and all that. You can fight your way out if you want. The audience titters. How can he win a battle? Various knights volunteer to take arms against the imp on behalf of Lady Arryn, but one says it would be right. But one says it would not be right to fight Tyrion because of his size. Tyrion agrees, asks for a champion to fight on his behalf. His brother Jaime Lannister. Slick move. But one that won't work, because he has to pick somebody that is actually present in the room, because she's not willing to wait for Jaime to turn up. It looks like his plan has backfired until one man volunteers for a price. The Lannister always pays their debts, after all, to fight on behalf of Tyrion. Not that he looks all that excited about the prospect, but a gig is a gig. And that is, yeah, it's a great fight. It's a good fight. I like it. I did have clips again. I apologize, people. I'm guessing Bronn is one of your favorite characters, Jeremy. Bronn is one of mine. Always full of wit, always full of great one-liners. Yeah, Charles, what did you think of Bronn? We've been sprinkling him in this episode.
Yeah, I like him. He was the one on the horse next to Tyrion, right?
Yeah, he's the one that said he'd impregnate the bitch, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's what I thought. But yeah, I like his character so far. I like that he stepped up. He was basically one of his captors, and now he's fighting for him. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows where the money is, and he's smart. Yeah. At the hunt, the king's squire Lancel Lannister is keeping the king's thirst at bay with constant wine refreshments, while he, Renly, and Barristan are in search of a boar. As Robert drinks more, he wants to talk about the good old great days, but the younger brother Renly is tired of his chatter. The old days saw the realm at war, thousands dead and madman on the throne, killing women and children. The great old days before that saw dragons setting men on fire. Robert tells his brother to remember who he's speaking to. Renly heads off and Robert continues to hunt after having even more wine. Yeah, I don't get it. People just get drunk and go looking for thingies. King Viserys did the exact same thing, if you remember. He got drunk and went looking for a boar.
Exactly. So go back to that one real quick.
Yeah.
So it says the great old days saw the realm at war, thousands dead, and a man on the throne, killing women and children. That's Robert.
Robert's the madman killing women and children.
He wants to.
Correct. That's a good catch.
He wants to kill Dany and the baby. He's no better than the Mad King at that point.
Wow. I've never took that thought with Robert ever. But you are completely and 100% correct, sir. He does. He's obsessed with wanting to kill Dany. So
he'll do anything.
What makes him different? What makes him different to the Mad King?
Yeah. And thousands dead. We could have thousands dead. All the Dothraki have to do is cross the water. We got thousands dead.
Robert's rebellion was literally started because of his girlfriend was taken away by Rhaegar, and so Robert has done a lot of bad things just because he's not got his own way. Very observant, Charles. No, I absolutely love that you picked that up. So you're helping me learn stuff, because like I said, I watched it 20 times, and never once have I had that thought of Robert, and now I do. So thank you for diminishing Robert in my eyes. Oh, damn it. Ned is sitting on the Iron Throne, doing the king's business in his absence, joined by two from the small council, Littlefinger and Grand Maester Pycelle. Sun men from the Riverlands come to say that their villages were burned down, their women and children savagely murdered by a man led by the Large Knight. There were thieves, just a ravaging horde bent one-ton destruction. They left a calling card, dead fish. Littlefinger mentions the fish is a sigil of House Tully, Catelyn's family, and the Large Knight they described sounds like the Mountain, who has been called Tywin Lannister's mad dog. Littlefinger assumes that the attack was in Littlefinger assumes that the attack was in retaliation for Catelyn taking Tyrion Lannister. There we go, we got it out. Which it was indeed. So yeah, you're hearing more about the Mountain. The Mountain basically got beat in that fight, and he got annoyed, didn't he? We seen him walk off, and
he got pissed off and went and ravaged the Netherlands.
Yeah, he went and ravaged and pillaged and killed some women. LSAPC has let us know that all kings have a bit of mad king in them. Some just hide it better. They're all responsible for death and destruction in a way or another. Yeah, I like that.
Very true. Very true.
Ned sends Lord Beric Dondarrion and 100 knights to execute the Mountain in the king's name. He also orders Pycelle to send a raven to Casterly Rock, demanding that Lord Tywin's presence in court to answer for the crimes of his bannermen, or be branded an enemy of the crown and a traitor to the realm. Littlefinger tries to dissuade Ned from doing that, from going after the richest man in the realm, saying gold wins wars, but Ned wants justice. This man changes so much in this show, Charles. So I just wanted you to take a good look at him here as the clean-looking Sir Beric Dondarrion, because this man goes on a crazy journey, and I can't wait for you to watch where he goes. Such a cool character. Such a cool character. And at the end of this, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's what he looks like. Because it's crazy how things change.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's time for the trial by combat. The moon door is opened and the two men face off. Fighting for the Vale is Savardis Egan. Fighting for Tyrion Lannister is Bronn, the man he first met at the inn at the crossroads, who he had sold him his room for the night. Savardis is heavily armoured, with a helm and a shield, and Bronn is light on his feet and uncumbered. He uses speed and agility to run Savardis ragged, exhausting the knight. He wounds him, then delivers a fatal blow before pushing him through the moon door. Quick, easy, fun little death. Introduced the trial of combat to the world of Game of Thrones and Westeros, and I thoroughly enjoyed this when I first watched it, and I still do every single time. It's a good fight. I like how there's people watching, and it's close quarters, and they haven't got a lot of stuff to go, and I love the duality of the two of them. One is light-footed and nimble, and the other one is like how you would suspect it to be, in shield and knight and armor and all that kind of stuff. So it was a very good fight, and Bronn's a great guy, but I'd never once questioned Bronn. Mitchie says, I'm really late. Sorry, Mitchie, you're not late. You're here. I appreciate you. We've had some technical difficulties, shall we say, with YouTube basically spanking my ass. But it's okay. We'll keep going. Tyrion is unchained, has his gold returned to him, pays his debt to Maud, and then leaves with Bronn. And the little man does not get to fly through the window today.
No.
Damn it, Mitchie, you're like the Secret Service. The king needs your protection. Yes, Mitchie, I was playing golf. Where were you? Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, now I have to talk about this bitch. Sansa is having some typical teen betrothed to a maniac against her will angst, and is getting snippy with her scepter during the sowing bee. When her intended walks in, he apologizes for his monstrous behavior and presents her with a gold necklace. He acts so sincere and contrite, Sansa seems smitten once again. She is a lady, and she'll be queen someday, and he'll never disrespect her, never be cruel to her. It's right out of the abusive royal boyfriend handbook, so call me dubious. I cannot fucking stand Sansa, and I cannot fucking stand Joffrey, so I apologize if that was said in a sarcastic tone, but that's the way you're getting it.
So these two are dumb enough to me that they deserve each other.
Oh, God.
I mean,
I hate Sansa. I absolutely
don't like
hate Sansa.
either one at all.
Yeah.
Either. So.
When Ned comes in later in the episode and says that they have to leave, and she puts on that whiny voice, but that's not fair because I'm supposed to be the queen. I just wanted to punch her. I'm like, shut up, you little girl. Yes, Jeremy. Let's put that on a banner. I want Sansa to fly. Yes.
Flies,
Oh,
sends a fly.
get a taste out of my mouth. Oh, there we go. That's a better thing to look at. As Theon is out riding, he sees Roz, the prostitute, in the back of a wagon. She says she's going to King's Landing. She heard that Jaime Lannister attacked Ned Stark in the middle of the capital, and that she assumes the whole realm will be at war soon. Brains and beauty, I see. There's nothing for her in Winterfell. It's not like Theon would be able to make her an honest woman out of her, and she's heading to the capital. I'm sorry, but I'm playing it. I don't give a fuck. So we're gonna play this one clip. It's only short. It's called "Let Me See It."
Let me see it one more time.
See what?
And I cut it just there, guys, because this is a family show. I may swear a few times, but this is still a family show.
That was one sexy ankle. Man.
It was one sexy ankle, and I will let you know that this scene is the most replayed, paused, and rewound scene in the entire Game of Thrones history.
Yeah, think?
It's a good one. Yeah, I went to Ireland to look for Roz, guys. I didn't find her. She must have been with another imp because she wasn't in Ireland when I went looking for her.
Yes.
Back at the capital, Ned wants to send his daughters back home to Winterfell for their safety. Ned wants to leave. Arya is enjoying her lessons with Syrio, and Sansa is in love again. As Sansa is defending Joffrey, she says something that gets Ned's attention. She calls Joffrey a lion and talks about them having blonde-haired children together someday. Arya reminds her sister that Joffrey's a stag, not a lion, and that seems to settle the matter for Ned. He's finally figured out the secret that Jon Arryn died for. But if he needed to get hit over the head with the truth, Sansa adds he's nothing like that old drunk king. Ned goes to the book of lineages of the old families and sees it at last. Baratheon's sons, all black of hair, until Joffrey, the golden-haired. Very, very interesting. I'm not going to play that clip because that one is 54 seconds long, but it is, again, a fantastic, just amazing scene with Ned where he's reading the book and he says all the names of the children: black of hair, Baratheon, black of hair, Robert Baratheon, black of hair, Joffrey Baratheon, golden head, and then he sits back, and his eyes just, it comes to him that Joffrey is not Robert's. How did you feel about that, Charles? Did you already know that?
I kind of,
or was it a revelation to you?
I kind of grasped it just by the hair color, because in this show and House of the Dragon, you can usually tell who's who by the hair, of course. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So.
Okay. So I pose to you, who is Joffrey's father?
Good question. Probably Jaime.
Ding, ding, ding. Blonde-haired, brother fucking sister. Yeah, that makes complete and utter sense. At the Temple of Dosh Kalin, the Dothraki are having a great time celebrating the Khaleesi's pregnancy and all the great things it will bring. Everyone is happy except for Viserys. He comes in drunk and ready to make a scene. He pulls his sword despite the fact that he is in violation of the Dothraki law by doing so in a temple. He's also carrying on about being a night king and a dragon. Both Jorah and Dany try to save him from himself, but he's too drunk, too angry, and too convinced of his own invincibility. He knows the Dothraki cannot kill him there. They cannot shed blood in their sacred city. The first time I watched this, I thought this was very, very clever. Honestly thought, okay, you've found an exploit here. They can't attack you. They can't kill you here. Like, they're just going to drag you outside and behead you. But you're onto something here, Viserys. I like it. I do like it. And then we see this scene. Whew. One of the best scenes to end an episode ever. And
yes.
I am going to play the clip for this one because I don't think it's too long. No, I can't. It's 52 seconds. Never mind.
I was impressed at how fast the gold melted myself.
Okay, so they did answer that. The Dothraki gold is of less purity. Basically, it's not as heavy and stuff like that, so it melts at a quicker boiling point.
I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah. How did you feel with this, Charles? This is one of those scenes that I wish I was a fly on the wall when you first watched it, because it's one of those shock and awe moments of like, oh my God, they're actually doing that to him. How did it make you feel?
Well, at first, John Stamos there got up and, joke, but and I think Danny knew it was going to happen. You could see it, and she didn't stop him. She just stared at him like, "You dumbass! You brought this on yourself."
Yeah, he said some horrible things to her.
Huh?
He said some horrible things to her. He'd gone past the point. He threatened her unborn child and everything. So
he slapped her. He put a knife to her stomach and everything else. And she's like, "I'm done." And Danny wanted it to happen. And what happens at the end, again, is like I said, it was a little bit of foreshadowing beginning of the episode to what she says and does at the end.
Yeah,
I really liked this scene. This is probably my favorite scene in the first 6 episodes so far.
Because agree with you.
It shows how much she's grown as a person too, to adapt to her surroundings. At first, she didn't want to have anything to do with this whole setup, but now she's having the.
She's a 14-year-old girl that's raped in the first episode.
Yeah, exactly. She's brought herself into the family and into the Dothraki group as if she's been there her whole life, and kind of leaving the Targaryen behind to a point. Yeah,
no, that's a very good point. I like it. She does basically abandon her birthright and go towards the Dothrakis. I completely agree. He says he wants what he has promised. He wants his golden crown. Drogo plays up, or Viserys will take Dany back for him. As for the baby, he says he'll cut it out of her and leave it for him. All the time, Iri is translating what Viserys is saying for Drogo. Drogo speaks and Dany translates for Viserys. Drogo agrees. Viserys shall have a crown, a golden crown that all men shall tremble to behold. And that is exactly what he receives.
Exactly.
He receives one of the most powerful deaths in the entire show.
Exactly. I also liked, at one point, Drago spoke English.
Yeah.
I didn't know he knew English.
Yeah. You shall get your crown.
Yeah, he said just a couple words, and it was like, wow, very powerful. Very powerful.
And how do you feel about not being given subtitles for the Dothraki speaking language?
It doesn't bother me, I don't think.
Okay, I'm glad it doesn't bother you. You will get subtitles going into season 2. They purposely didn't give us subtitles for season 1 so that they could introduce us all into the foreign language and to understand it a bit more. Even though not knowing what's said, you don't understand it, but we have translators in the show that translate it for us. So,
well, even though I don't know what they're physically saying, their actions, the emotions, tell me what they're saying.
Yeah.
You read their body language, you read the eyes, you read their emotions. You can tell what they're saying. To me,
definitely. And that is the end of the slideshow for episode 6. I apologize for not having the cool videos and clips. It just shows how quick these things go if we don't have those things. But I do have another 3 questions for you regarding this episode. Okay. So the first question I have for you, Charles, here is, how do you think this episode changes your perception of Daenerys Targaryen? What specific moments stood out to you that highlighted her growth? I know you spoke on this a little bit already. But if you'd like to answer the question, please feel free.
How do you think the episode changed your perception? I love Dany, to be totally honest with you. I've liked her character throughout, but this episode really solidified it for me. She's going to be, in my opinion, and again, you guys have both seen this, I have not. She's going to be a powerhouse, something to be reckoned with, I think. Because she's embracing the Dothraki. She's embracing this. She's embracing that. And she's leaving Targaryen behind and moving on. Where her brother was stuck with Targaryen. There's only freaking 2 of them in the world. Yet he wants to be the king of everything. And it's not going to happen. He did finally get his crown, which is awesome. But what specific moments stood out to you? I think the look that she gave her brother there at the end, for me, was huge. Just like, do it, I don't care. That's your own brother that's going to be killed in front of you by your husband and his people, and you're just like, I don't care. It just showed a lot.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, in House of the Dragon, we see brothers and sisters kind of in love with each other. We see Cersei and Jaime are fucking each other. They're in love with each other. And then you have this brother and sister dynamic. And at the end of this, she's like, yeah, whatever. Just wash my hands of you, you know?
Yes.
Like, I love that you picked that up about Dany. So my answer to this one, which I wrote down. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just going to say what LSBC. She's finding her own power and accepting her role. She's done taking crap from others. She knows she's untouchable. Very true. No one's going to hurt that girl. Nobody. Trust me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I answered this one with, this episode significantly changes the perception of Daenerys Targaryen as she transforms from a submissive figure to a more assertive and empowered character. The decision to stand up to Viserys and assert her own identity marks a pivotal moment in her growth. The moment when she takes control of her destiny, especially in the face of her brother's cruelty, highlights her resilience and her determination. That's how I answered that question.
Nice.
Question number 2, Charles. The Golden Crown has significant symbolic meaning in this episode. What do you think it represents for Viserys and for Daenerys? How does this symbolism contribute to the overall narrative? The Golden Crown.
So the Golden Crown to me is kind of, it's going to sound weird, but it's kind of the beginning and the end of a story to me.
Okay.
Like Viserys, I'm the king, I'm the king, I'm the king. I want my gold, I want my crown. He got it. His story is done. Now we open chapter 2 and we have Dany's story. Starting from the crown and going on. She's the queen. He's no longer around. She's now in charge.
Interesting. So I wrote down the Golden Crown symbolizes the ultimate irony of Viserys' ambition. He yearns for a crown and the power it represents, but ultimately it becomes a tool of his demise. For Daenerys, the crown signifies her liberation for Viserys' control and her rise as an independent force. This duality highlights the complex nature of power and the consciousness of ambition when detached from honor.
Yep.
That's how I see the Golden Crown. And then I have a final question for you, and this one is more about Jorah Mormont, because Jorah Mormont we haven't spoke about very much in this show just yet, but we're going to get more about him. So the question is, throughout this episode, Jorah Mormont shows a complex mix of loyalty and conflict regarding Daenerys. What do you think drives Jorah's commitment to her, and how do you interpret his actions? Remember, we found out in this episode that he's spying for Robert.
Yeah.
He's still spying. He's still sending messages back. It's interesting what's going on with him.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword that he's working with here. You know, either one. You know, if Dany and them find out what he's doing, he's a dead man. Because I don't think she has any tie to him at all. He helped her out in the beginning because he knew more about the Dothrakis than she did, helped translate, stuff like that. She doesn't need him now. She's capable of protecting herself. She knows she's protected. She knows she's untouchable. She really doesn't need him.
She's got thousands of Dothraki by her side.
Exactly. She's got an army behind her now. She doesn't.
And Aquaman. Yeah, and Aquaman by her side.
Yeah, John Stamos, yeah. But yeah, it's weird how his loyalty is, because he's loyal to her now, and then 10 minutes from now he's sending a raven or a crow or drone to Robert. So
okay. Yeah, Jeremy has a good point. Yeah. Jeremy says Jorah is a perplexing character at this point. I don't think there's enough info at this point to make a judgment on him. Okay. I wrote down that Jorah Mormont's loyalty to Daenerys Targaryen is driven by a complex interplay of personal redemption, unrequited love, and a sense of duty. Initially, Jorah is motivated by his desire to atone for his past mistakes, particularly his betrayal at his homeland and his internal intentions to spy on Daenerys. His commitment to her grows as he recognizes her potential as a leader and the rightful heir to the Targaryen legacy. So that's how I would sum up Jorah as of episode 6. He's definitely fighting within his own self to understand what he's got to do and where he's got to go and what path he's got to go down, because he's been by her side through all of these episodes, and he's been kind of steering her in the right path and helping her. And I feel like if he wasn't around as well, like maybe we'd have had a different story. Maybe Viserys would have been a bit more brash to do more things.
I think he would have. I think Viserys would have been a little bit more out of control without him there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it. That's the end of the questions. That's the end of the breakdowns for episodes 5 and 6. It was a quick one. We got it done in 90 minutes. We don't have a meme of the week this week because we did 2 episodes and I didn't want to be on for too long. We will have a bumper one next week, and we'll be back with episode 7 of Game of Thrones. Charles, where would you rank this episode? I know you said earlier this probably might be your favourite one.
This would probably be right up there with my favorite one for sure so far.
And why would you say that? Is it the death of Viserys that does it, and the rise of Daenerys?
I think it's the rise of Daenerys, the death of Viserys.
Ned?
Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. But Ned figuring out Joffrey, the whole Joffrey spin.
Yeah.
That adds to it. And then, just...
Tyrion in the trial by combat.
This episode kind of, and I think someone said it before, I don't know if it's you or Jeremy, but somebody said it tied up a lot of loose ends in this episode. So we can move on now. So, like the first 5 episodes, there was loose ends here and there, and well, we're not sure why this one's blonde. Now we kind of know. We don't know for sure, per se. I don't, but you guys know. But it all just kind of tied up a lot of loose ends for me. So I like it.
I love that line there, Jeremy. We started with the toe in the water, and now we're to ankle deep. Full submersion coming. Oh, completely. Yeah, we're about to get baptized in the world of Game of Thrones.
Is that what she was showing us? The water was ankle deep. Is that what she was showing us?
Yeah. Let me see it again. Oh, I don't know, Charles. I want to thank you for joining me on these rides. Again,
of course.
It's an absolute joy for me, brother, to be able to watch these episodes again with this in mind and with the conversations that we can have. And you've helped me learn some things this evening, which is, I don't know why I seem so crazy about that, but I've seen this show so many times. I didn't think there was still things for me to know and learn, but just having your opinion on how Robert is like the Mad King, that is an absolute revelation to me, and it's going to make me want to go back and watch it now with that outlook going forward on Robert, because Robert could do no wrong in my opinion. He was just always overlooked and under listened to. But thank you very much. That's amazing. You see that.
Yeah, and don't take my thoughts the wrong way either, because Robert is a great king. I think he's great. I think he's just misunderstood. But anybody in power of any kind has a bad side. You have to. It's just the way the world is, And as soon as it said, killing women and children, I'm like, Robert wants to do that. Thousands dead. If the Dothrakis cross the water, we get thousands dead. So it just rang.
Yeah. Jeremy says it's great seeing it from the perspective of somebody seeing it for the first time. Exactly, and completely and utterly true. Jeremy and Mitchie went down the journey a couple of years ago, and I was privy to them doing that. And I remember getting like little clips from them of certain episodes and their reactions, and it was just amazing to be able to. And yourself, I watch other YouTubers go through this journey multiple times a year. I find a new people to watch on YouTube, and then they go through the show and they finish it, and I find somebody new, and now we're doing it, and it's just one of the best things that I've ever done on this channel. And but for YouTube to do the things that they did this evening, I'm going to take that as a good omen that somebody's probably listening and somebody's caring enough that Milky can't get away with the things that he's getting away with. If you guys want to have any uninterrupted images and scenes like that, then consider buying me a coffee over at buymeacoffee.com/. patreon.com/RyanMilky14, because I don't have any restrictions over there. And if there's anything specific that you guys would like, I'm more than willing to accommodate for it. But yeah, my name's been Ryan, and I've been joined by my Hand of the King, Charles from Popham, Missouri. This has been our council meeting for Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 5 and Episode 6 breakdown. Jeremy, once again, is telling you all to buy this man a coffee. I appreciate you all. Thank you very much. And we will see you next week. We'll be back for Episode 7. And then we're going to have Meme of the Week. Meme of the Week is going to be a bumper one, so stay tuned for that, because I am going to dig hard and deep for some amazing memes from this first season of this show. I have lots of things planned for you guys. I have some vlogs coming, so stay tuned and please be patient with me, because I want them to be the best vlogs that they can be. So I'm going to take my time to edit them. Just know that I have at least 5 videos that I want to work on regarding my trip to Ireland. I did share the passport of the doors earlier in the stream. If anybody didn't see it, I would suggest rewinding the stream and checking it out. But in premise, one of the trees fell down from the King's Road, and HBO saved the trees and turned them into 10 doors that were distributed around Ireland. And now I'm on a manhunt to find them all, which is going to be really fun and really interesting. So stay tuned for that in a later year. News for the channel. I want to push content out, guys. And to do that, I need to be myself, and I can't just stick to one content idea, because that's just not what the Ryan Milky 14 channel is, and it never has been. You have all known me to ride my bike, do Funko videos, do Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, whatever it may be, I talk about it. And I want to do more content on the channel without having to make a new channel and sacrifice viewers and subscribers for that. So stay tuned. There will be more stuff coming. Completely different. It's going to be it's going to be music. It's going to be listening to a song, reacting to it, and then getting out of here. 3, 4, 5 minute video, 5 minute long videos. If anybody has a song that you want me to listen to, send it to me and I'll listen to it and we'll make a video on it. But they're probably going to drop. Yeah, they're probably going to drop every single day. If you don't know, and you should know, I moderate for Charles over on Let's Chat with Veterans every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. I'm the moderator, the man behind all the links and all of the fancy stuff that you see on the screen. Working with Charles on that channel motivated me to want to do more stuff on my own channel. And now that we have daily shorts dropping over on the Let's Chat, I wanted to do something daily with the Ryan Milky. So my plan is to record these music video reactions and upload them as of January the 1st. And then just go with it from there. So I'm planning to have a video a day, whether it would be a music reaction video or something different, every single day as of January the 1st. So yeah, stay tuned. Send me some songs, because I've got loads of cool songs that I want to listen to. Randy, I'm sure, has got some. I know he's been listening tonight, so I appreciate Randy hanging out, and just know that we love you, brother, and we miss you. And yeah, Randy's a horseman. If you don't know what the horseman is, come check us out Friday on the Ryan Milky 14 channel. We're going to be hanging out, talking all things Ireland. I'm going to have some images to share, some pictures to share, some cool stuff like that I am going to only exclusively share on the horseman. They're not going to be part of the vlogs. So if you want to see some of those images, you've got to check out the horseman for the exclusivity. You post, we watch. We're here for you, brother. Not just Game of Thrones and Hot Tea. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate that. Please, Jeremy, send me some music that you're into, or if you've got some cool little videos or anything. Just reaction stuff is what I'm looking for. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be fun. Yeah. With that being said, I think we've exhausted the airwaves of YouTube this evening. Yeah. Charles, again, thank you very much, my brother. I really appreciate you.
Of course.
Please tell them where we can find you. Where would you, if you want to plug anything?
Pop it in the Show Me State or Pop in Missouri on YouTube. Either one works. Surprisingly, it still works, but it does. Pop in Missouri on Rumble. Let's Chat with Veterans on Rumble. Let's Chat with Veterans on YouTube. There's a couple other channels out there. We won't shout them out, but tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central, we'll be opening a Til Valhalla shirt. We open one of those a month. And myself, Big Easy's House of Pops, and Ryan will be chatting about some charities, organizations, or companies run or helping veterans. So it's something we're passionate about. We're 350 plus subscribers, shooting for 500 hopefully soon. And we're having a lot of fun with it. Ryan's doing a great job on the shorts. They're getting awesome views for our viewership, 500 to 1,000 views every short. So very cool. Really seen some growth with it. So, guys, shorts do still work to grow a channel. Trust me.
They do. They do indeed. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. What was I going to say? Oh, this is a call out to any council members. I would like if you could all join me on stream for episode 9. If you can make it happen, please try and make it happen. Episode 9 is a very important episode in this series and in this season. That's 2 weeks away because we're going to be on episode 7 next week, and then 8 and then 9. So 3 Mondays. 3 Mondays away. I would like to try and get all of the council on till we can react to episode 9 at SAPC. So thank you both for a great live as always. Until next week, council meeting adjourned. You can put away your balls.
Christy, I need your purse. That one should do. It's small enough.
Yeah. Okay. And with that one, guys, we are going to get out of here. My name's been Ryan. I've been joined by Charles, as always. Check us out over on all of the socials that we post, and then I'm going to find my little thing. We'll play this, and then we'll get out of here.
Alan! 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 Al! Alan! 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 Alan!
The Copacabana. Music and fashion is always the passion at the Copa. Hey! Are you filming me in the bath? Get out! Away, man, I'm naked. You better not put it on YouTube.
Oh, so that's not Alan. Steve, Steve. Steve! 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 Steve!
I forgot to say for the YouTube algorithms, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, we'll be back next Monday. See you later, guys.